We have got a Fox News alert. It's the case that divided the country and sparked violent protests all across the nation. And now the Department of Justice has confirmed the federal investigation out in Ferguson, Missouri into Michael Brown's death is complete, and civil rights charges against Officer Darren Wilson will not be brought. So is this legal evidence that the shooting was never about race to start with? Joining us right now with his reaction is Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke. Sheriff, good morning to you.
Morning.
You know, right after the grand jury came out and said we're not going to indict him, there were people out there who were stirring the pot and saying that that young man was killed because he was black and the officer was white. And then you had Eric Holder going in and saying there's going to be a Department of Justice investigation. And now, you know, they're saying no evidence of that. Your impression?
Well, they knew this from the beginning. This whole thing was premised on a lie. This hands up, don't shoot, this Black Lives Matter. The facts are the facts. I don't care who looks at them. They're going to have the world court look at it if they want, but the facts remain the same. The grand jury in Ferguson, Missouri got it right. Officer Wilson has been exonerated. The thing I want to know is how does he go and get his reputation back, or where does he go to get his reputation back? How do we put that toothpaste back in the tube?
Absolutely. Eric Holder, the president, Al Sharpton, all owe, you know, the city of Ferguson, Missouri, an apology. You told one of our producers in chatting with you yesterday that you feel that Eric Holder is guilty of race baiting. Why?
Just take a look at the history here. This isn't the first time that he has done this sort of thing. He sat up there for months just slandering law enforcement officers all across the nation. He's the one in Ferguson, Missouri that brought up the racial profiling term, and that we were going to end racial profiling once and for all, he said. He invoked that into this thing when that was never any part of what happened between, you know, the tragedy between Officer Darren Wilson and Mike Brown. But again, you know, this is kind of habit now for this Justice Department under Eric Holder, and I just think it's a shame.
Well, I think the Justice Department felt like they had to do something because Al Sharpton, who is an advisor to the television, to the President of the United States, was on television saying things like this at the time.
How many people have to die before people understand this is not an illusion? This is a reality that America has got to come to terms with. This is going to be a winter that we're going to freeze out police brutality in this country. Eric Garner, Michael Brown, enough is enough.
Well, newsflash for Al Sharpton, no civil rights violation in Ferguson, Missouri. Sheriff, you get the final word.
I don't expect anything intelligent to come out of the mouth of Al Sharpton. We all know that he's a charlatan. As a matter of fact, the next intelligent thing that comes out of his mouth will be the first. Al Sharpton ought to just shut up and go back into the gutter that he came from. Apologize. He will not do that, but the American police officer is owed a lot from him, from Eric Holder, and from the President of the United States.
Absolutely. All right. Sheriff David Clarke joining us today from Milwaukee. Sir, thank you very much for your comments.
My pleasure.